All right, hola guys, ¿qué paso? How's everyone doing? This is Hala Pablo. Thank you for tuning in. Let's look at Bitcoin. Let's kind of pick up where we left off yesterday, do a quick update on a Saturday, and don't have too much time to hang out with you guys. Let me just show you what I'm seeing here. So we'll look at a few charts. Let's see, what chart should we look at first? Let's look at the okay, so this is the fractals from June 22 to April 26. We're still kind of going off these. They have, we are seeing deviation now, obviously, as we wind up here, as we, end this range. We get to the end of this range, though we do have this kind of channel in the end here. 4 years ago was more compact above the ice. We have more play now beneath the ice this year, but we have the series of rejections off the macro, or this would rather be the micro trend resistance, and then we have the rejections here 4 years ago. So it's just much more compressed. That's the only difference. But now we find ourselves beneath the ice. The proximity to the 200 weekly is about the same. And we look down here in the STH Nupal, and we see that we're in the triple red, kind of in the same. We're in the triple red 4 years ago as well. As we look to correlate these metrics, we see it on both sides. So as long as we stay triple red at this area of the range, we are still above trading range support. This is the line that we drew from the secondary test, remember? That's this. So we're about here, but we dropped. It was a straight drop 4 years ago. Here we're kind of clinging on, and we may have yet another attempt at the ice, but we are beneath the ice, and that makes all the difference, especially if we can't seem to get back up to it. I mean, it takes so much effort just to approach it, let alone overcome it, get above it, which is what we'll need to do if we're going to make any more headway north. But it's not looking very strong right now. It's, the accumulation efforts are very, very weak. Here we see it on the 30-minute. We have this expanding rising wedge. Here we've already swept this liquidity pool, this one coming down to 65,000. So I haven't moved these levels. They've just swept them, like I believe they're going to sweep these as well. We see that we broke the wedge here back on the 2nd. So that was about 2 days ago. And remember how I told you guys, see, once price breaks like a macro parental, say, structure or governing structure, like we have in this like reverse, well, this is an expanding rising wedge. See how we broke here? We broke on above average supply. And then we came down, and now the price has tried to re-enter. Remember, this is germane to all patterns and all forms of price action in every market that you look at. It could be Forex, it could be stocks, it could be commodities, and the same applies for crypto. Once price breaks out of a parental structure, it seeks to go back into it, to re-enter it, right? It's like reverse osmosis, where water seeks to escape and to go into the void. Price action seeks to go back into from whence it came. So it's looking for re-entries to come back up into it and reclaim these lost support lines. But we find that it fails along now this was the micro trend support. Now it's micro trend resistance. You see how it's failed here on 3 times, and it's now making the third attempt, and it's doing it on low volume. So it doesn't look like it's really ambitious to re-enter this wedge. So like what usually happens is after 3 or 4 tries, it gives up the ghost and falls. And especially, see, we have the secondary wedge now coming up here. You see that? And so we look down in the Nupal, and we see all this has taken place underneath the ice. Now you see where I circled these rejection points here. Now these rejection points happen on, well, this chart doesn't really show it. Let me show you on another chart here. Let me see. Like here, for example, so we got to kind of go to a higher time frame. So this is on a 1 hour. You see these rejection points in this regression trend here. so it flashes yellow in the nupal, and so this signifies overbought, right? Because we're above the zero line and above the 90 EMA, so it's overbought in a downtrend. And so we've already established the trend support and resistance. And so up here, this is where we would expect to see overbought. The nupal flashes yellow and it comes back down into the regression trend. Same thing here, right? Flashed yellow, came back down. Now, though, we're beneath the ice. Now, this was a capitulation here. This signified a capitulation. And so now we're clinging to the zero line. We haven't sunk beneath the zero line, but we're having another attempt here at the microtrend resistance line, but now we're underneath the ice. Now, this is very important. This goes back to, this is why I'm showing you this. All this is happening beneath the ice, and look what's happened. We flashed yellow. So we are overbought again, but we're overbought beneath the ice. And look at this kind of pathetic kind of spread right now that's happening. See how this has just got so thin and small and narrow. You see this here? And it's kind of like you can even kind of, you have this support, this trend support, and this trend resistance here. It's also printing out a rising wedge, which rising wedges are eventually bearish. They break. Usually, by the theory of pattern recognition, rising wedges are bearish. And so this is certainly being supported in the nupal with the flash of yellow beneath the anchored VWAP, the macro VWAP of this entire trading range. So this is where we need to see all this. If this is going to be building up, we need to see it still down in the red, beneath the zero line, and with a strong yellow EMA like we see here. You see how this kind of bottomed out here. We get this inverted head and shoulders, and then we're underneath the EMA, but then the EMA flips halfway up in the channel, and now we're bouncing above the EMA as we make our way up towards the zero line. That's a strong, healthy uptrend. But we're not seeing this. We're already at the zero line, and we've made a little bit of an attempt. We're still kind of see this up thrust here. We're kind of equal to it. This is like, equal height here. And we're already flashing yellow. So it's already flashing a warning, an overbought warning. So that's telling us that this whole thing is losing conviction, it's losing steam. The buyers are losing strength. The confidence is waning. And, the short-term holders are just right at that threshold of wreckage from where they're holding. So this is overbought under the ice, and that usually signals a rejection. And now if we reject from here, then we go back to this. This would signify a final rejection of trying to get back up, a failure to rally back up into the major structure that we broke down from 2 days ago, and that would signal more of a sell-off and en route to perhaps start seeking out these liquidity pools that are found around the sign of weakness of this range of what I believe is a redistribution range, and ultimately the selling climax liquidity pool. And so we look at the divergence information that we could kind of glean from the nupal, and we're seeing these flat highs here, not rising above a certain level here. So like this is smart money selling off regardless of how high the price goes. They're keeping this very deliberate selling block here where they're selling into the strength. And so that's usually not good. We see something like this here remember on the 3 drive that we broke down to earlier last month, this 1, 2, 3, this rising wedge here. Now this came on 3 flat highs here, or 3 equidistant or the height of each one didn't precede. This one came a little bit higher. But all in all the tips of these nupal waves above the zero line can fit within a thin, expanded rectangle. And so we certainly don't see a mimic or a reproduction of the gradient that we see in the price action. This is more linear, right? And this, of course, heralded the the break of structure here. And then it was down, 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 and it came into another one with these lower lows. See this 1 and the 2, and then we look in the Nupal, and we see the higher lows, the 1 and the 2. So this was a bullish divergence that we saw, and this precipitated this kind of upthrust. But now we came into this kind of flat area here that we've just come out of. We had this like reverse head and shoulders coming out, and now it brings us to where we are. We are unable to re-enter the wedge, and so that's indicative of further distribution, and it's flashing. The Nupal is flashing yellow above the 0 line, while underneath the ice, that's a further conviction of bearish bias. And so that's about all I got right now. There's not really much to report on. We did most of it yesterday in the video. So this is just kind of like a quick kind of recap. If anything, it's losing steam. We have these regression trends. Now this was the first selling climax that we marked down from beneath the Iron Dome. This is the second one. We see the similarities now. We have the regression trend coming in on phase C and D of these Wyckoff, what I believe are redistribution ranges. So in order for this to suddenly accumulate, a lot of things would have to happen. It would have to just kind of reverse engine, and it'd have to do it soon. And this is coming on the heels of there's about to be a ground war in Iran with the U.S. Marines and the ground forces and all, the Iranian ground forces. And I read somewhere that the Chechens are now coming in to help the Iranians, and fighter jets, U.S. fighter jets are getting shot down, helicopters are crashing. So this is not a done deal. This war is not a slam dunk by any means for the United States. And so this looks like something that's going to keep on keeping on. And war is not good. Usually in the markets, war has a detrimental effect on the climb, on the general climb of the economy. So all of this could be set in the stage of a further fall down, like we've been talking about since the beginning of when we started tracing these things, of the Iron Dome, that would fall right in line and justify a fall down to the 200 weekly, create a, as it were, ground zero. We go ahead and put another fluorescent green triangle. We've seen it every 4 years. See, this is 2026. We're at the cusp of it now. This was last cycle's 2022. We marked all the way down once we entered this Iron Dome. We had COVID in 2020. So this was mid-cycle coming off a counter trend top. In 2018, that's 4 years prior, we had, this was the ground zero of it. Okay, we go back to 2014. Here's the Iron Dome for 2014. We came down, we touched the 200 weekly again. So this is like 3 or 4 cycles in a row. And then 2011, how far back do you want to go to prove that this theory is infallible? So, and then here it is here. Now, we didn't have enough information with the 200 weekly to go all the way back to 2011, but you can kind of see from the 200 and the 400 SMAs, this kind of still was snaking beneath the underbelly of both of these simple moving averages, and it would have wound up somewhere around here with these, where I drew these fluorescent green triangles where we had the double bottom. So the 200 would have been somewhere in this vicinity notionally. So, and then, and then of course we've got the 2100 VWAP that comes on my bottom hunter indicator that I coded for. It works really, really good with the alts, but it also goes along the absolute low of Bitcoin as well. So here it is along the absolute lows. You see how it comes up underneath the 200, and it even wicks through it sometimes. Yeah, so this is the 2100 day VWAP. So here it is. That's like 5 years almost. That's like 2 cycles, or it's like a halving period for Bitcoin. But you see here how it came right through the this was back when it was when Bitcoin hit 16,000. So anyway, yeah. So that being said, I want to take that off because I don't want to confuse anyone. This indicator, by the way, could be, it's in my Discord group if you're interested in it. It's mainly for the alts because it's more active with the hyper volatility of the alts, but it works also with Bitcoin. So yeah, so we're going to use it for both. But that's only after we hit the 200 weekly. We're still looking at it, but we're on course for it. This is looking more and more and more like a redistribution. So this would be the UTAD and then the series of LPSYs. So it certainly looks like that on the daily, but anything's possible. We'll see how this war plays out. But the war in itself is bearish, is bearish news. Even if we have the pumps between now and then on, you know, if Trump says something on X or whatever comes out, that's usually amounts to nothing more than liquidity runs. And these runs stay intra range, so we can't count them as accumulations. They're all within the framework. There are micro accumulations within macro distributions. So this all just sets the stage. It's meant to fake you out. It's meant to burn the bull, you know, to burn the bulls and those that are prone to emotional sentiment, to be swayed by the emotions. And let's face it, you know, traders right now are hungry. They're looking for anything bullish to go long. And so that's what they do. They'll throw you a carrot. You'll get out there and you'll go long. You'll over leverage and then get burned at the closest liquidity void to the north. And so, but we're smarter than that on this channel, right? We don't fall. We're not so easily fooled by the machinations and the shenanigans of the market maker. So that's what we do with Wyckoff. We try to track them, track their activity, and make informed decisions. We don't always get it right, but we get it right enough to where this is a numbers game. So, you know, if you hedge your bets right, you know, you can make an awful amount of just, you know, really, really good money doing this. You just have to be smart about it. You learn to do this. You learn to read price action with the VWAP, with the fractal range analysis, and you can enter into financial freedom. You could certainly, the earning potential is unlimited. You can learn more about it. If you're interested, check out my Discord trading group. Stay for a few months or whatever. Just kind of pick up on what we do and my style, and take what's useful to you, and what's not useful, just discard it, chew the meat, spit out the bones, as they say. And so that's what it's all about. And so with that, I'm going to let you go. May God richly bless you. Thank you for hanging in there and watching this. Hopefully I'll have more. I'm going to go into my Discord trading group now, and I'm going to do some charts for altcoins. I think someone there was asking about Algorand. I love Algorand. We're going to look at Algorand. We're going to look at Zcash. I want to look at Filecoin. I'm going to look at Ethereum also, okay? And I think I have some fractals, so I'm going to be sharing some fractals in there. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, check us out. And if not, you can certainly get so much out of these free videos. All right, guys. I love you. Talk to you later. None of what you've seen or heard here is financial advice, but you already knew that. All right, guys. May God richly bless you. Talk to you soon. Adios. Have a great weekend, and happy Easter. Take care, all.